What's happening? This is Masculinity Monday. I'm Isaiah Coleman, brought to you by The Connected. I am the curator of The Connected. I love diving into topics that relate to our masculinity as men. Again, our masculinity is what drives us to be the leaders of our families, what drives us to be the leader in our community, the leaders in our organizations. And masculinity, having a healthy masculinity is super important to all of those aspects of our lives. So today I wanted to talk to y'all about a topic that just organically came to me. Literally, my wife and my kids, I always try to shoot these videos when my family aren't in the house. And right now they're at the park, and I think I have around 25 more minutes before they walk in the door. But it came to me organically, and I'm like, ooh, perfect time to record. Let's talk about it. It all came to me because I was listening to this podcast that I had never listened to before. And I'll put the name of the podcast in the description. But I had never listened to this podcast before in my life, but I love the topic. And the guest on this podcast was referred to as the Godfather of storytelling. And I'm like, ooh, I love storytelling. I love being a speaker and telling stories with hopes of giving an audience something of value, giving them wisdom, giving them some direction in life, something that can help them in an area of their life, whether it be relationships, whether it be their profession, whether it be with their family, etc. So this gentleman was talking, and he was so passionate about what he was saying here, and I think it resonated with me the most. Like, if anything that he said, it resonated with me the most, and I think it will resonate with you. And it was just all around. It was in regard to how we live our lives, right? How we live our lives with intention. And I thought that was key because right now I'm actually preparing to hold space and have discussion with other men around the concept of intention. And he just talked about being intentional again with your life. So again, aligned with what I'm getting ready to speak on. But he was talking about being intentional about your life and our importance. And I'm really just bringing this to men right now. I'm really just focusing on the masculine man you are, about finding your purpose and finding your meaning, right? We're all born into this world with a purpose, with a specific purpose, with a unique meaning that we have to discover, that we have to explore, be curious about with the world. And he fought against the notion of us living our lives out of obligation, right? We have to do certain things because we need money. We have to do certain things so that we can keep a job. We have to do certain things that will give us a return, but not give us that return that fulfills us, that doesn't give us that return that really gives us meaning. And I love the way he broke it down. And again, he just was like, you need to be, I like to use the word maniacal when I talk about finding your purpose or finding your meaning, but that's basically what he was saying. I can't remember the adjective of how he described it, but he was just like, you need to be assertive on finding your purpose and finding your meaning, especially as a man. Perfect example, my wife and I, we talk about this all the time in regard to parenting. I tell my wife all the time, women, and you can look this up, women have this instinct to be a nurturer. They are typically the parent who loves to love on and shows care and shows empathy and things like that. Whereas that isn't naturally the first instinct of a man or a father in a family, in a nuclear family. The father typically, again, their first instinct is to go out and provide, is to go out and protect and make sure that their family is secure at home. And that's our instinct, right? And in addition to that, I feel, or in alignment with that, I feel what this gentleman was saying on this podcast in regard to finding our meaning. I think we need to go find that meaning that also provides for our family, make sure our family is protected, and make sure our family is cared for. And he said, when you find it, he said, live in that, go all in on that. Don't worry about what other people are saying about it. Don't be so conscious about it. Don't worry about anybody else's validation. If it serves other people, if it is a purpose that is contributing to the world and to community, then go all out and go all in on it if you believe in it. And again, I loved it. And just to give you one piece of advice on how you can possibly find your purpose, find your meaning, I was listening to another podcast, and I'll add that podcast into the description of this. But this man said, collect experiences, collect relationships, collect skills, collect those things, because as you become a collector of relationships, of skills, of experiences, you begin to find connections between all of those different things. And when those connections start to make sense, you start to realize, oh, wow, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So if anybody out there is lost and doesn't know maybe what is their purpose yet, or doesn't know why am I here exactly, I highly recommend that you just start saying yes to everything that comes into your sphere of life and your circle, and dive in, hands and feet, dive all the way in and learn skills, learn people, learn from different experiences, because it will help you find your purpose and find your meaning. All right, I hope this was helpful. I hope this was helpful to somebody, to a father, to a leader, to a husband. I hope this was helpful because, again, we all have unique reasons why we're here. We're not just here to take up space. We're here to solve a problem, and we're here to serve, and we're here to contribute to the larger community and world. All right. So I'm Isaiah Coleman. This is Masculinity Monday. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you appreciated it. Thanks again for tuning in. If you're into this type of stuff, like, follow, subscribe. And until next time. All right. Peace out.